do you call
when all that you see
are actors on your television singing off key?
What savvy, well-versed heroes can settle this
Score!
once more with TV.
Welcome, Carmens and Valkyries, to Once More with TV, a podcast celebrating TV musical episodes from the sublime to the subprime.
And definitively ranking them using every theater child's worst nightmare, math.
I'm your co-host, Liza Truschel, she, her, and I'm a habanera enthusiast.
Ooh, nice. I'm your co-host, Alex Kovnatsky, he, him, and I think there should be more enemies to lovers storylines where the female protagonist is just straight up a bully. I think we need more of that.
Absolutely true. Absolutely true. Helga forever. Helga forever. Justice for Helga. A queen.
If it wasn't clear, this week we're doing Hey Arnold, Season 2, Episode 19B, entitled What's Opera Arnold? It came out November 17th, 1997. Liza, what's your relationship to Hey Arnold?
Hey Arnold it's interesting because it's one of the Nicktoons that was on slightly too early for me, right? Like it was just before I was watching TV, but it used to run late at night and was like kind of a cool show. And what I really remember is it coming up in that Nick at Night block and just being obsessed with Arnold's room.
Yeah.
It was so cool.
It's already rare enough that we get kids in apartment complexes. Like that's not something they really do in kids TV at all. And so that's already cool in and of itself that they're doing that, kind of showing different classes. But yeah, his trundle bed, is that a trundle bed? No, it's a Murphy bed. His Murphy bed, pretty incredible.
His Murphy bed, like the fish tank, like it was all just so rad.
Yeah. But yeah, I absolutely the same there in terms of Hey Arnold's cool room. I always wanted his room.
It's like the number one kid's room. I think if you ask anyone our age, they're like, hey, Arnold's room was really cool.
It's super rad. I was a big Hey Arnold fan growing up, actually. And I don't think I realized how much I remembered of Hey Arnold until I was scrolling through the episodes for this. I watched probably every episode when it came out, but I don't think of myself as being like a big Hey Arnold fan. It was just something that I was always watching. I kind of, thinking back on it, love everything about it. I there's a lot of positives to take from it. I think it stands in like the grand tradition of having really interesting, cool music in a kid's TV show. That intro is obviously iconic. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, the intro was a bop, and it was so pleasant to listen to it again. Yeah. I was just like so thrilled when it started playing because it had left my brain entirely, but was still there intact. You know,
it's so good. It's such a good little number, and I remember. I think so. So my dad is the type of person who thinks cartoons are for kids. I mean, he calls anything animated cartoons. I've since got him to watch some anime, which is pretty amazing, but he like doesn't think anything animated is art at all. And I think the first time he ever respected a TV show I was watching was when he walked in on the Hey Arnold intro and was like, hey, this is really good.
I love that for your dad.
Yeah. So this episode is obviously a callback to What's Opera Doc, the Looney Tunes episode where Elmer Fudd and Bugs Bunny are doing similar opera songs.
Kill the Wabbit.
Kill the Wabbit.
We all know Kill the Wabbit.
Kill the Wabbit's iconic. So that's already just a fun kind of homage there. Should we just get into the episode description?
Yeah, let's go for it.
So this one is obviously a two-parter because kids' TV shows have 2 episodes, but I'm just going to read the one for What's Opera. Arnold and the gang go on a class trip to the opera and have grand musical dreams of their own.
There you go. Pretty much covers it. Yeah, I mean, we open at, everybody's loading off the bus at this field trip, and their nerdy ass teacher, who's I don't know, is just like playing Wagner on a boombox outside a theater, which is like such insane behavior. And I was just thinking about how much it would really bother me if I was like going to the opera and like 28-year-olds showed, or like 12-year-olds or whatever showed up, and their teacher had a boombox. I'd be like, oh, can I leave?
It's so funny that this is like an inherent difference in you and I, because I was charmed by that. I was like, what a nice educational experience.
Listen, I'm glad they're going to the opera. I'm glad it's a matinee because I probably wouldn't be there.
Yeah, I guess we should say this too. I don't know if we asked this question before. What's your relationship to opera?
Oh, that is a really good question. So I was like, for a while, when I was like, doing my whole thing as a child, I took vocal lessons for a long time, and all of mine were classically based. So I did get to know opera relatively well. This wasn't the kind of stuff I sang. I'm a Brahms girly through and through. But, you do get to, I think I don't know many operas very well, although part of what I would argue, especially after watching this, is I think more people know more opera than they think they do.
Yeah, totally.
I don't know a ton of them very well. There are a few that I really adore. I think it's a very beautiful form of expression. And when you watch someone do it who's like really amazing at it, it can be just like so transportative and so beautiful. Like it can be just unbelievable theater to watch.
100%. 100%. Yeah, it's interesting that you mentioned that. I was thinking as you were saying that, do I know these opera songs because of this episode of Hey Arnold? Or did I know them before I was watching? And I actually don't know the answer to that question.
But I think, like, if you played, like, Habanera or even, like, the overture to Carmen, everybody's heard that. They don't know that it's Carmen. Like, I don't think most of them would know the names of these songs or why, or even, like, Harold does a little send-up of, like, Vesti la Juba. I'm never going to say that correctly.
No, you said that right.
Okay, great. But, like, those are all melodies, you'll just go ba 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 while you do them. Like nobody knows the Italian, fine. But I think that's probably true of a lot of the big operas. I mean, especially like, I do think What's Opera Doc just is why most people know any of the Ring. Like,
totally.
Any of Wagner's Ring is because of that. But I do think these songs like creep their way into the subconscious, partly because like, so many of them are, I think this is probably true. So many of them must be royalty free now, right? Because So like they work their ways into like soundtracks a lot. And I think people don't necessarily realize that.
Yeah, totally. Or like, if I feel like this is a thing in Europe, especially if you're on the streets, people busk with this kind of music all the time. Absolutely. On violins and things like that.
Yeah.
But I do think probably distinctly this was my entry point into opera. Now that I'm thinking
totally
back
fair. Mine was What's Opera Doc. So
yeah. That makes sense. But anyway, yeah, this nerdy teacher is outside here playing Wagner. I love him having to explain the plot of Carmen to these children.
That was really amusing, and I did like it. It was funny to me because I was like, wait, he's taking them to it. And then I was like, oh, it's in Italian, and he's depending on them not fully understanding it, which is totally fair.
And I also like the way the kids respond to all of this by like not really picking up on anything he's saying and just wanting to do a little bullfight. Like that feels like kids to me.
That feels correct. Yeah. I will say at one point he called a child Stinky as if that was their name. And I was like, you're a teacher. Like, I don't think you're allowed.
I think that is his name. I think that's what everybody calls him.
The teacher should still call him John. Like, I'm sorry. Like, you can't also call Brian Stinky.
Yeah,
like, you have to use his name. You're a teacher.
I don't know the lore on Stinky, actually.
I don't either.
I think that's just his name.
It must be, but it's so sad. I say this as someone whose cat is named Stinky.
That's right.
I do bully my cat, but importantly, she doesn't speak English.
It's an important distinction.
Yeah.
After that scene, we get Helga doing her classic yearning over Arnold.
Yeah.
I love flamenco dancer stomping on the stage of my heart is very good.
Yeah, that was all very good stuff. I will say there was an interesting watching this. I got the urge to see Io Adebari as Helga in a huge way.
I mean, she would crush that.
There was something about this scene and that like very specific kind of like nerdy yearning that I was like, Io Adebari could crush this.
She would eat for sure. That'd be awesome. I want to shout out that when Helga's having this moment fantasizing over Arnold, we're hearing little castanets in the background. I just think that's a fun choice.
It was a very fun choice. We're getting in the mood.
So it seems like Arnold is into this other girl, Ruth, who like I don't think is a big character in the show. I think like she maybe shows up in a couple of other episodes, but I think they just wanted to set up some sort of a love triangle, I guess. But they file into their seats, and Arnold immediately falls asleep. Is that what happens?
Immediately, which was funny and would happen to minimum one child on the field trip.
100%.
So it did work for me.
And that's when we get that first number that you were saying, the Vesti La Juba with Harold.
Well, we also get Gerald just screaming Figaro.
Figaro dressed up as Mozart, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's like the only singing he does too, right? He's mostly speak singing.
It doesn't seem like that voice actor was going to be singing much. We find other ways to incorporate it, but he doesn't do any singing.
Yeah, as far as I can tell, by the way, all of the voice actors do their own singing, except, and this is interesting, the original voice of Hey Arnold had to leave the show because he hit puberty, and they had a different actor come in, but that actor couldn't sing, so they had the original Hey Arnold voice actor come back in to sing for Arnold.
Fascinating. First of all, I don't know that I knew they used a real boy.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a real boy.
I usually just assume it's an adult woman.
I mean, he often is, right? Like,
yeah.
Ash Ketchum, Timmy Turner, right? Like, they're often...
like, so many of these are just adult women.
Yeah. But yeah, they had a little boy originally who became a little man who had to come back and do this part.
Absolutely fascinating.
What'd you think about this first number? I mean, it's very short, obviously, but... What were your thoughts?
It was goofy. I mean, I think it sets you in the right space. I mean, we reference all of the operas that were on the posters outside that our teacher talks about. So it's kind of fun that we like call back to all of those. And of course, Pagliacci is an opera. I, for a while, thought it was just a joke from Watchmen, the comic. I did not know about the opera Pagliacci, which is very important. I do happen to love this song, actually. It's the closer of Act 1, and it's like extremely emotional. But this goofy little version, I mean, I did a little giggle and moved on.
Yeah, exactly. I'm realizing in real time that I don't know the plot of Pagliacci at all. I just know the songs from it.
Well, this song is like particularly like, I think it comes in the end of Act 1, and he's like, just realized, I think that his wife has been unfaithful or something like that. And like Vesti La Juba means like put the costume on. So it's like sad clown Pagliacci is going to still do his routine even though he's in immense pain, right? So it means exactly what you think it is.
Yeah. I think we get the same emotional weight from Harold. I think
that's exactly what is portrayed here.
I'm a big ugly clowno.
Yeah. There we go.
I also love that they kind of in this dream sequence very seamlessly transition into being on a set on stage, because that's how dreams feel like for me sometimes. Where I'm like, oh, I'm on a stage now. Okay.
Yeah.
And we get the second song there. That's when we get Habanera with Ruth taking the lead on this. What were your thoughts on this one?
My favorite rendition of Habanera is Beaker from the Muppets.
Yeah, it's hard to beat that.
It's really hard to do better than that. But if you're gonna do Habanera, even though we've already perfected it, you might as well make it your own, which is what Ruth does here. I thought the lyrics were cutesy, kind of sweet, right? I liked they're like riding the cow. Like, it's very dumb and simplistic, but this is like, it's supposed to be inside a child's mind. Like, I thought it was just kind of sweet.
Yeah. I feel like they're doing a good job of channeling how kids would kind of make up lyrics for something like this, right? Yeah,
like Arnold struggles to rhyme his name with anything. Like, my name is Arnold, here, have a caramel.
Yeah.
You know?
It's classic. I'm also thinking now that I think the Beaker version really does attach to this song well because of the like kind of staccato nature of it. It's perfect for a meet.
It's the perfect song to go meet on. Actually, it turns out.
I also I do like when Gerald just says, "Hey Arnold," ask her to dance or whatever it is. That's just a nice little nice little thing.
Listen, there. Gerald's not gonna sing, but he's here. Okay, he's still our best friend. There was one lyric that bothered me. I don't understand how a cape can be pure Latin if it was tailored in the south of France.
Mm-hmm.
Not a Latin country. Rude. Did not appreciate this.
Because Latin-based language is what they're going for, right?
Yeah, sure. Fuck off, romance languages.
I really liked the way Arnold sang this. It felt like perfectly bad singing, right? Like I had trouble describing it to myself in my notes, but he does this thing where he's like mostly on the note enough for it to not sound so jarring to the ears, but enough off of it to sound like almost like speaking and having trouble being a singer. I just really like that touch.
No, I thought it was really well done in that he seemed like this is not his normal mode of expression. Even within the dream, he was like, I'm going to adapt to what's going on here, but I'm not super comfortable with it. You know?
I also like that, usually I'm a big harmony guy, but I like that we have kids singing in unison and it sounds like shouting, because that feels like every
especially the background
show.
Kids just shouting. That was correct. It was like, yep, they're just going to throw their arms out and shout. That's all they're going to do. That's what children are for.
100%. After that, Arnold wakes up and someone says, I think Helga says he's snoring louder than the orchestra. It's honestly so embarrassing.
As someone who does snore, if you told me that I had snored in public at a performance, I'd be like, I have to leave the country. I can't be here anymore.
I once in college snored in the middle of like a big lecture, like a 200, 300 person lecture. And the lecture stopped because I was snoring so loudly. And I was sitting next to my friend who didn't wake me up. And I was so mad at him for that. And he was like, well, you look like you really needed the sleep. And I probably did.
I don't know about that. I don't know. I would have kicked you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So embarrassing.
Yeah. We kicked you right in the shit.
Anyway, now we're in Helga's dream. Helga passes out, and I guess it's worth mentioning that Gerald brought his whole Walkman in and is just listening
to other music, which would be such a sonically horrific experience.
Totally, especially with those like janky headphones he had. Like, there's
on like
no way.
a Walkman playing a cassette. Like, are you fucking joking, Gerald?
I admire the perseverance, I guess.
I guess.
It's a wild move.
It's a crazy move.
But we get Helga's dream. We're going to get some Ride of the Valkyries. It's just a good and inspired choice to have Helga being a Viking Valkyrie.
It works extremely well because she basically gets to shout the whole song. Which is Helga's bass mode, shouting.
Yeah, like Helga's high notes half the time are just her screaming, and somehow I thought that was really tasteful.
It's kind of really charming.
Yeah.
I also really liked that we're in the same set because we're all watching the same show, even though now, of course, it's Valkyries. It's a dream. Who cares, right? It's Wagner now. But we're in the same set, but it seems so transformed by a change in lighting and the change in backdrop. I like really enjoyed that as a choice. But yeah, no, Helga is a queen. She's iconic.
The light up sign for football head was really sending me.
That got me. She's got a golden slingshot. That's a good time.
Yeah, totally. The spear and magic helmet bit is really good too. Also a callback to the What's Opera doc.
What's Opera doc is so iconic. It's wild.
It really is good. I did watch it after this episode. I've obviously seen it before, but I was going like, man, the animation alone on this is so good.
It's so incredible.
Might have to be an episode in the future. We'll see.
It's hard to say, right? Because I think technically it's a short film, but it is a segment that probably aired as part of a Looney Tunes episode. But like, who knows what was going on with the 50s and how they certified different episodes of television. I don't know. It's extremely good. We all got confused when Bugs Bunny had boobs now.
I mean, yeah, classic Bugs and Drag. Like that's
Bugs
really
and Drag. Classic Bugs and Drag. I loved that fat horse.
Yeah, that fat horse is incredible. It is 6 minutes long, so I think that is a thing that also makes it tough for us.
It is tough for us. That is 6 minutes might be pushing it. This was like what, like 11, 10?
Yeah, exactly, and that already is super short.
Yeah.
But anyway, in this song, Helga also has a quick change and a scene change that happens in real time, and then we see Helga as Carmhelga.
Carmhelga, brilliant, no notes.
I do love the way they just like don't really care to change these names enough.
No, we have to know that she's Carmen now.
Exactly.
Otherwise, how would we know she's Carmen now?
I was thinking about like how this is maybe the duality of Helga, right? She's like, she presents as a Viking, but in her heart, she's a romantic, right?
Yeah. I liked how in this song, which is like a much more like, she's doing a much more femme presentation, and it's a very different vocal range. I liked that she sounded a little less comfortable.
Yes.
I thought that was so clever and great. She's like a little up high, and it's not as bombastic and as confident as she came in because she's putting something on. And I thought that was like, she's doing an imitation of what Ruth did, like obviously, but she is not Ruth. She is Helga. It's never going to work for her.
Yeah, exactly.
So I really thought that was great. That really worked for me.
She's not in her pocket. She's a little bit more vulnerable in this. I think that makes a lot of sense, and that's good acting through singing. We, after this, get Curly Mio, I guess, is how you would say that. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it is. It's Curly Mio.
I don't know if he's doing an Elvis thing.
I don't either. It was so odd.
But I do like the idea that Arnold gets a little bit jealous. I know this is Helga's dream, but that was just Helga's an interesting turn for him.
It was an interesting turn. And partly, I reminded you that this is Helga's dream. But yeah, he comes in and does the Toreador song, which is also like instantly recognizable. To me, he sounded probably the most comfortable vocally of anyone. I thought he was really great. And, just sounded like a kid singing Carmen, right?
Totally.
So, but sounded really like, I mean, he has to come in like the most brazenly confident thing, or this doesn't work at all, right? Because he has to distract Helga from literally Arnold.
Yeah, totally. And he's such a little ham. He does it well.
Such a ham, and it really was charming.
It also helps that like so many of these lyrics were just bits, right?
Yeah.
The like, plus I could use a wife. I really love the En Garde Cafe au lait.
En Garde Cafe au lait made me laugh out loud, like in a way that scared my cat.
It's great. And then we get some fight choreo too, so that's fun.
Very fun. That's kind of where we end musically, right? Because after this, Helga wakes up. They almost kiss. Of course, Helga and Arnold almost kiss in her dream. Then she is rudely awoken by the end of the show. And so she says wistfully into the distance, just wish it lasted a little longer, or whatever she says.
Yeah.
But yeah, and that's sort of the end of episode. We wrap it there.
Yeah, and I also thought it ended too soon. I wanted more.
I know. I was like, damn, okay.
But it was nice that in this last song, they kind of threw in all of their extra characters who hadn't done anything yet. We get Eugene with that sandbag. We get that guy who's always breathing over Helga's shoulder.
The guy always breathing over Helga's shoulder is an icon, and he's important. And I had completely forgotten about him until I heard the breathing, and I went, oh my God. That fucking guy. I also like that he's not in the musical, even in the dream. That's so fucking funny that he's been demoted to techie when everybody else is in the musical.
It is throwing some major shade on the
It was
crew.
so rude, and I loved it.
Absolutely. I will say the worst part of this episode is the end credits. That end credits song is weird and bad.
It was weird and bad.
I almost wish they didn't include it. The normal end credits song is also a complimentary jazz banger to the intro, so I would have preferred that, but I can understand why they wanted to throw in something a little extra.
But it didn't work for me.
Didn't work at all. Any other last takes? Any other last thoughts on this?
No, I think we should get into scoring this thing.
All right. Starting off, as always, with our general vibe. We didn't mention this in the episode, but they do say the word gypsy, I think, 5 times.
Yeah, it's rough.
I think I don't want to necessarily give it so much leeway, but I do think at the time people didn't really have a discourse about it being a slur.
Definitely not I will say this, definitely not in America.
Yeah.
That conversation was definitely not happening in America yet. This is what, 97?
97.
Yeah, so that conversation wasn't happening yet. It does, I mean, it's 2025. Watching it now, you're like, hey.
I think still even now people don't realize it's a slur, right?
That's so true. I still think that's a relatively, I mean, that's when I have to say to people in my life sometimes still. So yeah, it doesn't take too much off for me. I do think otherwise the vibe is really high here.
Yeah.
It's really fun and weird and goofy and pretty joyous. That does, I think, take at least a point away.
Yeah, totally.
But yeah, otherwise pretty good.
Yeah, for me, anything that's the intent is to educate children on classic art is going to be a high enjoyment level for me.
Yeah, exactly.
Just who I am. So yeah, I mean, I think an 8 or a 9 for me, I think is probably where I'm sitting.
Yeah, let's give it an 8. That feels good.
8 sounds good. All right. Next, we have the music. Obviously, this is all found music, but interesting to take from so many different kinds of classical artists.
Totally.
Yeah. What's your take on this?
It is found. I love that Helga's got a different musical for her because there's nothing in Carmen for Helga.
There really isn't.
She needs to scream right at the Valkyries.
She really does.
So I think there is some very clever usage of this music. They get some points for writing their own lyrics to it.
Yeah.
That are really fun and extremely appropriate for the age group of the characters and the audience. And yeah, I mean, I do just enjoy, like you said, I think the vibe of showing kids that they can relate to classical art is great.
Yeah. It is interesting that they just have Pagliacci for that one bit.
It is funny, though.
It is good. It's very good.
I will say there's not, if we tried to add a third opera in 11 minutes, it might have gotten a little overwhelming.
Totally. So yeah, I don't know how to score this really because I don't think they change anything in the arrangements because even the one key change I noticed, I think was part of the original piece too.
I think it is, yeah.
Yeah.
They don't change much in the way of the arrangements. Obviously, we mentioned that kids are shouting in unison in the background. It's very Carmen Jr.
Yeah, totally.
But that again felt appropriate. I don't know, maybe a 6.
I think a 6 sounds right to me because I will say the one song they did write was not good, and they stuck it in the end credits.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say, is usually we don't go above a 5 for found music, but because they did their own lyrics, and because they did write one original song, even if it was bad, we'll go for 6.
Gets a little something. The lyrics, this is where it'll score a little bit higher, because obviously this is all original lyrics. And they do a lot of good goofs with the lyrics. Yeah, I don't have anything overly positive to say, but I don't have anything negative to say, really. There's nothing that really bothered me.
I think the only things that bugged me were pure Latin and I got it tailored in France. Absolutely not. Mm-hmm. And then there were some of the rhyme schemes in that first habanera were a little odd. First habanera, there were a couple of rhyme schemes in that I was a bit confused by, but otherwise, yeah, I mean, they're simplistic, but they're in character and they're very suited to everybody there. And it felt like people were having fun saying them.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, the lyrics felt exactly to me like what the kids would be saying is the thing that I think works for me on that. So Arnold and Carmel, like you were saying before, right?
Yeah.
I think that works well for it. I'm trying to think if there was anything that I overtly didn't like yours, but I can't really pick it out. But I also can't pick out things that were really that great for me. So I might be a classic 7 for me.
Oh man, a classic 7. One of these days we are gonna ban. What if in season 3 we don't do any 7s?
I don't know. I don't know if I can do it.
Honestly, the problem is it'll throw off everything, so we actually can't do it. But you know what I mean. Okay, dancing.
Not much of it.
Not much of it. We do have some fight choreo.
Yep.
But yeah, most of the dancing is children popping out of windows and throwing their arms in the air. I'd say that's 98%.
Listen, that works.
It's funny.
that lands for me. Is this pre-Beauty and the Beast? Is this pre-Belle?
Oh my God, it might be, and it might not.
Beauty and the Beast is like 2000?
I don't know. I know Lion
Oh,
King's
wow,
94.
I'm so off. Beauty and the Beast is 91.
Okay, yeah. So it is definitely post-Belle.
Yeah. Post-Belle world.
We're living in a post-Belle era here. Yeah, there's not much of it. I guess you could call what Curly does. Curly Mio does. Dancing. Yeah,
this is going to be pretty mid for me. I think maybe like a 5 for this.
Oh, I was going to go for like a 4. Like,
okay,
I don't think they
good.
really do much. And so, okay, 4. Performance. So we talked about the vocal and acting performances, and as we've said 100 times, we don't care how good you are at singing when you commit.
100%.
And I think they did a really good job here of singing well when it was appropriate to do so, and just giving a full character commitment 100% of the time.
I think the performance is really high for me. I think I was kind of blown away by it. Like what you said with Helga about being more vulnerable in the Carmen role, like Arnold sounding the best kind of bad I could think of, like melodically still fine to listen to, but performing
distinctly uncomfortable. Like, he sounds uncomfortable to be forced to sing now.
And Curly Mio is so funny.
Curly Mio, it worked. I had a good giggle.
Is this like a 9 or a 10? Like, I don't have anything bad to say about it.
I mean, I think this is a 9. Nobody's really pushed to like an emotional extreme here, which is what's holding me back from a 10. But everybody fills the brief to a T.
100%. 100%. Okay, the writing now. Obviously, a short animated episode that's mostly filled with these songs, but the writing is, I guess, the setup for this. It's not necessarily the lyrics because we have our own lyric section for it, but I guess maybe it's the bits in between. Yeah, what are your thoughts on the writing?
There was something very chaotic about that opening scene that like threw me for a loop at first because everybody's talking over each other. And then I was like, kids do talk over each other. Like, when was the last time a child waited for another child to finish a sentence?
I mean, I think the most unrealistic thing is that they actually listen to the teacher and go inside when it's time to go inside and get to their own
crazy.
seats.
It's crazy that he hasn't lost all of them by bringing them into public. And again, we noticed that like a lot of the lines are funny. Like Helga's yearning for Arnold is always funny.
Always good.
On guard cafe au lait is hysterical. It's really good. Yeah, I mean, like there was nothing like, and I liked that we had one girl who like really cared, like Helga's friend.
yeah, totally.
I liked
little
that
girl.
because, like, as that child in school, I felt very represented.
I mean, that's kind of the big thing about Hey Arnold, right? I think they do really good representation of different kinds of kids, right?
Totally.
So that's always been a good thing. I do think the ending did make me a little bit sad. I kind of felt for Helga and myself for being like, I wish there was more of this. Yeah, I mean, I think writing is pretty strong. I don't think it's anything super exceptional, but in terms of like the ways in which a musical episode happens, having a dream that people are singing, I think they do it pretty well here in a way that doesn't feel so contrived.
Totally. And again, I liked that we like mention all of the operas we're going to call back to. I thought that was kind of nice. Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I hate to say 7.
Feels like a 7, doesn't it?
Feels like a 7.
Okay, the direction is interesting, right? Because we are doing a bunch of different things, especially with the kind of dream sequences morphing into a set, the set changing for Helga being a Valkyrie. I don't think anything is anywhere near as ambitious or maybe even as artful as What's Opera Doc.
No,
it almost feels unfair to compare them.
Yeah.
But
I mean, What's Opera Doc is like in the Library of Congress. Like that's like a historically important piece of animation. So it's a little hard to compare things to it.
Totally. But I do think the direction was pretty good. I mean, like, I don't have anything bad to say about it. Kind of a similar vein here.
Yeah, totally. I thought it was just solid. Nothing really to write home about. But again, I liked that the way we change the mood is similar to the way you change a mood on a stage set by changing the lighting, and changing the backdrop. I thought that was a clever way of getting that across, and I liked that it emulated the medium they were playing with.
Yeah, and we get some like Dutch angles in those moments that feels kind of dynamic.
Yeah, but there was nothing super standout here.
It almost feels like this should be a 7.
Oh boy. I mean, you're not wrong. Okay,
commitment. I mean, I guess it's committing more to an opera episode than a musical episode, but still kind of the same thing. They get 4 songs in 11 minutes. I know we've seen crazier ratios than that, but this is still pretty impressive, right?
Yeah, totally. And again, they only write one original piece. They do write some original lyrics though. And then we do, and you and I say this all the time, we do get the whole cast involved. It doesn't seem like Gerald was a singer, but we do still get him to shout Figaro.
Totally.
So we do get everyone involved, which is a key tenet of commitment for me.
Yeah, I think this probably scores pretty highly. We might bump that 7 to an 8.
Yeah, this feels like an 8.
And then the stakes. Tough with this show where nothing changes ever.
Yeah.
We do give Arnold a new love interest. I think that is probably the
Ruth's
first time.
Intro?
I think it's the first time we get that Arnold is into Ruth. I was doing some research, and I think the Valentine's Day episode with Ruth comes after this.
Fascinating.
So I guess we get a new character in that way, or develop that storyline. But other than that, nothing much is going to change really episode to episode.
Yeah, right. I mean, the point of Helga waking up before she and Arnold kiss is that they can't, right? Like, because that would be game changing, even in a dream.
Yeah.
So we kind of do reset to 0 here.
And then, when we think about these kinds of resetting to 0 shows, I often like to think of is this an episode that you could skip? Is this an episode that people talk about? It is maybe the most memorable episode of Hey Arnold for me, but I don't know if that's just saying more about me as a person.
Yeah, hard to say.
Right? Yeah. But I do think in the pantheon of Hey Arnold episodes, I think this one is pretty highly regarded.
I think that's true.
Yeah. But I don't know if that changes the stakes so much for us.
Yeah, I kind of feel like they're hitting, honestly, right in the middle. This kind of feels like a 4 or a 5 to me.
Yeah, let's put it at a 4. I think that feels fair.
Cool.
All right. And now we're at the personal ranking.
Okay.
Our favorite one.
Yeah. And also our least favorite. Importantly, it's both. Okay, give me one. I think I've got my number.
I think I have mine too.
Fascinating.
Yeah, I'm set.
Are you ready?
Yep.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, 7.
8.5.
Wow. Math.
Is that a 7.25?
15.75.
7.75. Wow, you beat me on the math.
That's never happened.
Let's go. 7.75. That's right.
I've learned. I've grown.
Wow.
Huge character development. The stakes of this episode for me, enormous. Huge character arc for me.
That puts Hey Arnold in 13th place with 67.75 points, putting it just above Bob's Burgers' episode Work Hard or Die Trying Girl, and a little bit below Community's regional holiday music. That feels like a good spot for it.
That feels correct. Not to be like, we created a perfect system. But it does seem to be working. It seems to be like the system we created to tabulate our own opinions is correctly tabulating our opinions.
Yeah, I feel like it's lining
cool.
up with our opinions and thoughts that we meticulously laid out.
We yet again have not landed on a whole number this season.
Wow, we're the season of non-integers.
Yeah, really wild. I don't know. I mean, maybe that'll change next week. Next week, we'll see you once more with season 6, episode 20 of Once Upon a Time, entitled The Song in Your Heart.
You can find this episode on Disney Plus and Hulu.
Thank you, as always, to Olivia Braslavsky, our angelic audio architect, and to Sakana Powell, our magnificent marketing maven.
If you like the show, please be sure to rate and review us. If you don't, keep it to yourself. You can find us on Instagram at Once More with TV or contact us using the information in the show notes.
And
scene.